Amaka sat on the edge of her bed in her Lecky apartment, staring at the diamond ring glinting in her palm. The light from the bedside lamp bounced off the stone, throwing tiny stars across the wall. It was beautiful, breathtaking even, but it didn't make sense. Who could have bought her such an expensive ring? Ibuka had been just as stunned when she showed it to him. "Me?" he'd said, eyes wide. "Babe, you know I can't afford that. Not even close." The mystery gnawed at her. Before she could spiral any further, her phone lit up. "Mama Ioma calling." With a sigh, Amaka swiped to answer. "Hello, Mommy." "My daughter." Her mother's warm voice filled the room. "Hope you're all right?" "I'm okay. Just thinking." A pause. "You're thinking about the ring, Abby. That's why I called." Amaka sat upright. "Wait, what do you mean?" Her mother laughed proudly. "I bought it." "What?" "I saved for years. I told myself the day my Amaka finds someone who truly lights up her voice, I'll get her something special. I know you haven't said it, but I can hear it in how you talk about Ibuka." Amaka's heart swelled and sank at once. Gratitude battled guilt. Her mother didn't know the full truth, not yet. "Mummy, you bought the ring?" Amaka whispered, barely believing it. "Yes, my dear," Mama Ioma said with a satisfied sigh. "I've been saving small. You know how people pressure me. Where is Amaka's husband? I wanted to do my part." Amaka swallowed hard. Her mother's voice was so full of pride. "But how did you even know I was seeing someone?" "My friend, you think I don't know my own daughter? The way your voice dances when you mention Ibuka." "You may not have said it directly, but love has a way of revealing itself." Amaka smiled faintly, but her stomach tightened. Her mother didn't know that the whole thing, the engagement, had started as a lie, a fake relationship to get people off her back. But somewhere along the way, something real had grown. "You always amaze me," Amaka said softly. "Thank you, Mummy. It's beautiful." "That's all I wanted to hear. Just be sure, Amaka. Don't let fear or class or what people say stop you from following your heart." The call ended, but the weight of her words lingered. Amaka clutched the ring and lay back against her pillows, her mind racing. Her mother had unknowingly invested in a fantasy. Now Amaka had to decide, was she ready to turn this act into something true? The afternoon sun filtered into the living room as Ibuka sipped a glass of Zobo and scrolled through delivery requests on his phone. The apartment was unusually quiet. Amaka had gone to work early and he was enjoying the rare peace. Ding-dong. He frowned. No one ever visited unannounced. Cautiously, he opened the door. Standing there, dressed in a designer blouse and oversized sunglasses, was Tenny. "Hi, Ibuka," she purred, stepping in before he could object. He blinked. Amaka's not around." "I know," she replied, strolling in like she owned the place. "I came to see you." Ibuka's eyes narrowed. "Why?" Tenny smiled, letting her designer bag fall on the couch. "Let's not pretend. You're fine, Ibuka. Way too fine for someone like Amaka." He folded his arms. "Excuse me?" "I mean, come on. You're staying here playing house with her when you could be with someone like me, someone who understands class, wealth, enjoyment." Ibuka's voice turned cold. "Amaka believed in me when no one else did, even when I had nothing," Tenny scoffed. "And now you have her pity and her mother's ring. Congratulations. But I know this engagement is fake. I can help you live better, Ibuka. You and I—" "No," he cut in sharply. "Even if this were fake, I'd still never choose someone like you. Anyone who insults her behind her back isn't worth my time." Tenny's smile faltered, then hardened. You'll regret this. Ibuka opened the door. Get out, Tenny. She glared, grabbed her bag, and stormed out without another word. As the door slammed, Ibuka sat down, running a hand over his face. This woman must be mad, he muttered. Amaka needs to know. Amaka sat at her desk in her Victoria Island office, flipping through reports, but her mind was elsewhere. Tenny's name kept flashing through her thoughts. Something felt off. Her phone buzzed. Mama Ioma calling. She smiled and picked up. Mummy? My daughter, her mother beamed. I was just telling Auntie Ngozi how fine your fiancé is. But tell me, what exactly does Ibuka do? Amaka froze. She hadn't expected this. He's very busy, she replied carefully. Busy with what? Mama pressed. You said he's doing well. Is he into oil and gas? Amaka's mind raced. He's a CEO of a tech company. There was a pause, then a delighted squeal. CEO! Maka! You want to finish me with pride? What kind of tech? Software, Amaka blurted. He's building apps. Delivery systems and all. Hey, my son-in-law is into tech. God will bless this union, Mama Ijoma said, full of excitement. I can't wait to meet him. Bring him this weekendo. Sure, Mummy. Very soon, Amaka lied, heart-pounding. When the call ended, she slumped back in her chair. What had she done? The lie had slipped out too fast. Now she was trapped. Her screen lit up again. A message from Ibuka. We need to talk. It's about Tenny. Amaka rubbed her temples, overwhelmed. One lie had become another. Now everything felt like a house of cards. And if one more thing fell apart, it could all come crashing down. At her Surulere home, Mama Iyeoma hummed while stirring egusi soup. Her mood was bright. Her daughter was engaged to a CEO. Life was good. Then the phone rang. Hello, she answered cheerfully. Good afternoon, Ma. This is Kunle, Tenny's cousin, came a voice overly polite. Oh, Kunle, how are you? I'm fine, Ma, but I thought you deserved the truth about this man Amaka is marrying. Mama Ioma's smile faded. What are you talking about? Kunle paused just enough to build tension. That Ibuka isn't who you think he is. He's no CEO. In fact, he was jobless not long ago. Just a regular guy from Aja. Amaka picked him up from the streets. Streets? Her voice cracked. You must be joking. I wish I was. She's lying to you, Ma. Ask her. You'll see I'm right. The call ended. Mama Iyeoma stood frozen, soup forgotten. Her hands trembled as she reached for her phone again. Text to Amaka. Come to Surulere this weekend? We need to talk? At her office, Amaka saw the message and felt her stomach twist. Her worst fear had come true. Someone had spoken. And if it was who she thought it was, this was only the beginning of the fallout. Amaka stood in her lecky kitchen, hands clenched, phone in hand. The rage bubbling inside her had nowhere to go except one place. Tenny? Without hesitation, she tapped her number and hit call. Babes, Tenny answered cheerfully. Did you go to my house to hit on Ibuka? Amaka asked coldly. Tenny paused, then laughed nervously. Where's that coming from? Don't lie. He told me everything. Tenny sighed, suddenly bold. Okay, fine. But it wasn't serious. I was just testing him. Testing him? Amaka's voice sharpened. You walked into my house, insulted me behind my back, and flirted with my man for fun. You talk about him so much, Tenny said. I wanted to see what the hype was about. Honestly, you're overreacting. Amaka's voice dropped to a steady fire. You disrespected me, my relationship, and our friendship, all because of your insecurity. Oh, please, Tenny scoffed. He's not really your boyfriend anyway. You said so yourself. Silence. Then Amaka replied, "You just confirmed what I suspected. You're not a friend. You've been pretending, smiling in my face while plotting behind my back." "Amaka, don't be dramatic. Goodbye, Tenny," she snapped, and hung up. She stood still, heart pounding, but lighter somehow. The weight of a fake friendship had finally dropped. Ibuka walked in, reading her face. "Are you okay?" She nodded. "I am now. I just cut Tenny off for good." He gave a small, proud smile. It was time. She exhaled. No more snakes in my circle. No more pretending. But inside, she knew the hardest truth was still waiting in Surulere. Surulere was unusually quiet that Sunday afternoon. Amaka stepped into her mother's sitting room, her heart pounding louder than her heels on the tiled floor. Mama Iayoma sat, arms folded, eyes sharp. "Sit," she said. Amaka obeyed. "Why did you lie to me about Ibuka?" her mother asked, voice low but cutting. Amaka looked down. "Mummy, I didn't know how to tell you. I was scared. You kept pressuring me to find someone." "So you hired a man to play fiancé?" Mama snapped. "Amaka, that's not just a lie. That's shameful." "I know," she whispered. "But, it wasn't just an act anymore. Somewhere along the line, I fell in love with him." Her mother blinked. "You what?" "I love him," Amaka said, a voice steady now. "He's kind, honest, and everything I didn't know I needed. We started fake, but what we have now, it's real." Mama Iayoma stared for a long moment and sighed deeply. I pushed you too hard," she admitted. "I let society's noise get into my head. But if he truly makes you happy, then status doesn't matter." Amaka looked up in surprise. "You mean that?" Mama nodded. "We can turn him into something. If he's willing to grow with you, I'll support it. Just no more lies." Tears filled Amaka's eyes. "Thank you, Mummy. You've no idea how much that means." Mama Ijeoma smiled, the sternness fading. "Bring my son-in-law to see me, and tell him next time he should come with Fufu." Amaka laughed, the tension melting from her chest. For the first time, the truth had set her free, and her mother's blessing made it feel like a brand new beginning. Amaka burst into the living room, excitement glowing in her eyes. "Ibuka! You won't believe it! My mom called you her son-in-law!" Ibuka looked up from his laptop, surprised. "She did?" "She said your status doesn't matter anymore. She just wants me to be happy." Ibuka's face lit up. Then, without a word, he stood, reached into his pocket and dropped to one knee. Amaka gasped. He opened a small velvet box. "Amaka, will you marry me?" She froze, hands over her mouth. "Is this real?" Ibuka chuckled. "No more pretending. I love you. And I want this. For real." Tears welled in her eyes as she whispered, "Yes." Cheers erupted days later in a vibrant hall in Ikeya. Leisiael, Agbada, Yolof, and highlife music filled the air. They weren't just celebrating a union, they were witnessing a miracle born from chaos. 2 years later, the scene was calmer. A polished office door read, "Ebuka Nwankwo, CEO Swift Niger Logistics." At home in their Lekki duplex, Amaka sat on the floor, laughing as their baby girl, Ada, played with her father's tie. The woman who once feared love now lived it fully. Ibuka looked at her, eyes full of wonder. "Can you believe all this started with a lie?" Amaka smiled, resting her head on his shoulder. "Sometimes, life rewrites our story in the most unexpected way." They sat on the balcony as the Lagos sun dipped into the sea, hand in hand, no longer pretending. Moral true love isn't built on perfection. It thrives on honesty, belief, and choosing each other again and again